In 1959, Tony Bettenhausen celebrated the first day of qualifying, wrecking his car like this. He was not alone, however. Johnny Tolan took a ride on turn 2 that he'll never forget. Roger Ward, an experienced, capable driver, had signed with Bob Wilkie to drive the leader cards special. Their race in the hole was mechanic builder A.J. Watson, and the 3 W's looked ahead confidently to race day. The traditional race day rabbit was caught before he could become a headache to the safety patrol, and the cars made a rainbow of color as they lined up for the race. Johnny Thompson sat on the pole, Eddie Sachs had the middle spot, and Jim Rathman was on the outside of the front row. 3 top drivers, alert, confident, ready to go the distance. Start, Ward charged across through the traffic and took a position close to the front-running Johnny Thompson. Soon, however, the competition had narrowed down to the 2 men, Ward and Thompson, battling it out in the straights, through the turns. And on turn 2, Thompson took the lead by passing on the outside. Watch this pass. But Jimmy Bryan had barely moved from the starting line. 1 lap was all he got, and after that he became a spectacle. A near miss is frequently more spectacular than a crash. Witness the case of Eddie Sachs here. Now duck, Eddie. Len Sutton, not as lucky as Eddie Sachs. Ray Crawford was on the backstretch coming into turn 3 when that happened. And after receiving multiple rib fractures in the accident, Crawford tried to attend the victory banquet the next night. You know, the menace of fire is ever present at every track. Dick Rathman pitted, and suddenly it happened. A determined crew confined the fire rapidly. Rathman got out with his whole skin, but for him, the race was finished. There's Rathman. Then Roger Ward made his 3rd pit stop under the caution flag. And the leader card crew made it in just 21 seconds. Watch these guys go. That's quite a difference from the pit times of several years ago. Out on the track, Jim Rathman was circling slowly, locked in with the yellow flag. Of course, feeling the frustration of having an opportunity to press his advantage, but being able to do nothing about it. Bob Wilkie told us better get down to victory lane, and that's the way it went. Ward kept the lead and crossed the line. Jim Rathman finished seconds later for his 3rd second-place win at Indianapolis. And like many other Indianapolis winners, the trip into victory lane came to Roger Ward as the realization of a long-standing wish. This was his 9th Indianapolis race, and a triumph of the adversity which had dogged his early career. Well, a year passed, and now the leader card special bore the number 1. Roger Ward, fired by his big win, had gone on to tie for the national championship. And when qualifying time came, Jim Rathman was determined to do something about the situation, and he started off by breaking the existing track record set by his brother Dick. then Eddie Sachs took the Dean Van Line special over the line, and the track record fell once again. The rookies were having a tough time. On turn 1, Cotton Farmer into a spin. Jack Rounds lost it on turn 4. Lee Drollinger got acquainted with the wall in turn 2. Look out. But then a youngster named Jim Hurtubise, who drove his first USAC race at the 1959 Hoosier 100, took his car out, and he struck pay dirt. Driving a crazy diamond-shaped pattern, the records began to fall. Jim Hurtubise, a California boy from Lenox, California. These fellas think their stopwatches are broken. This guy tears up the record. The speed, 149.056 average for the 10 miles, and the old-timers walked away talking to themselves. And so the excitement and color of another race day came to Indianapolis. The traditional race day ceremonies were observed as the cars lined up on the track. Everybody was there, the governors, the mayors, and all of the spectators. The pace lap got underway. Sam Hanks at the wheel of the pace car, Tony Holman checking the position of the field. It's another fine start at Indianapolis. Eddie Sachs took off from the pole position. He nosed out Ward in the second lap. Troy Rathman led briefly, and veteran Dwayne Carter spun on turn 3 in the Thornton Industry Special. Eddie Russo put Ollie Prather's car into the wall on turn 2. Seconds later, here's Chuck Stevenson spinning in a second leader card car. Then Tony Bettenhausen comes into the pits and his car's on fire. Jack Beckley, the mechanic and crew went to work, and the fire was put out as Tony reaches over and kisses his wife and assures everybody that he's all right. Eddie Sachs, in the Dean Van Line special out of the race, comforts his mechanic, Clint Bronner. And now the dueling front runners, Ward and Rathman, pitted at the same time on the 149th lap. And here, of course, the race could be won or lost. It was just that close. They rolled away practically together, Ward clearing the pits just a couple of seconds ahead of Rathman. And then began a duel which made Speedway history. First Ward led, then Rathman. And then the lead would switch back again. Ladies and gentlemen, 17 times it happened. And finally, Ward, with worn tires, slacked off, and Jim Rathman crossed the line for his first Indianapolis victory. Having placed second on 3 previous occasions, Rathman had come to be mindful, I guess, of the old saying, always a bridesmaid, but never a bride. And he, too, realized an ambition. On this day, May 30th, 1960, a new record of 138.767 miles per hour on the average, and one of the finest races in Speedway history. And so the challenge has been met, it's been conquered, but it still remains waiting for another year, and other men and their cars to come here and compete on this half-century-old course, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Chick Hearn speaking and reminding you that next week at the same time, we'll bring you the exclusive film of the 1961 500-mile race right here on Channel 4.